Okay, let us begin. Relocation with your minor child. Obviously, if you would like this, or this video will apply to you if you have a minor child and there is another parent who has parental rights and responsibilities in relation to this child. If you are unfortunate to be the only parent, the other parent is not alive, and then this topic would not necessarily apply to you because you would have full guardianship rights over the minor child. However, it is possible for there to be another parent, and that other parent does not have any parental rights and responsibilities, and you still have full guardianship rights over the minor child. So that scenario is true, and we will deal with that in a short moment. Relocation, what does that mean? In short, it means you are leaving South Africa, intending to live in another country, and because there's a minor child involved, you intend to take the minor child with you to the other country. This topic would also be applicable maybe for a visit to another country with a minor child. Of course, you are welcome to, and nothing would stop you from visiting another country or relocating without the minor child. You have a right to do that. However, issues may arise whereby you would like to take the minor child with you, and obviously the law, under certain circumstances, requires the other parent to consent thereto. That is where the issue will be. So the other parent will not be consenting for your relocation. You can do what you want to do. You have the passport, you have the visa. The other parent would obviously have to consent to the minor child leaving the Republic of South Africa with you. So that's where it becomes challenging. Okay, so where do we start with this? We'll have to start off with the basics. When is consent required from the other parent? That would be the foundation from where we can move forward. Firstly, all mothers would by default have full parental rights and responsibilities over the minor child unless a court takes it away. Simple as that. Now, obviously, the issue comes where the father is concerned. Now, these are the questions which will be posed. Is the father married to the mother? If the father is married to the mother, automatically he has full parental rights and responsibilities. Consent is required. Done. So under a situation whereby both parents are married to each other, both parents will have to consent. Another scenario, the parties were married, they divorced, and the court made an order that the mother has sole guardianship rights. Under those circumstances, consent would not necessarily be required under those circumstances. However, the father might oppose the relocation because he might not have guardianship rights, but he has a problem with a minor child leaving the country because it may limit his contact rights to the minor child. But it's very rare in a divorce situation where a court would take a parent's guardianship rights away. So that's like the exception. Sticking to the second scenario, the parties are unmarried. However, the father was involved in the child's life, paid maintenance, partook in the child's life. He would have acquired parental rights and responsibilities in relation to the minor child. Therefore, under those circumstances, where a father was involved in the child's life, him and the mother never got married, but he was always there, his consent would be required for the relocation of the minor child to leave the Republic of South Africa. Then we have another extreme example, of course, whereby the father acquired parental rights and responsibilities, but obviously he, for lack of a better way, have acted very irresponsible, lack of a better term, irresponsible towards a minor child, and a court got involved and took away his parental rights and responsibilities. But nonetheless, today's issue deals with a scenario where the parties are married and got divorced and guardianship rights continued, or the parties were never married but the father was involved in the child's life and is involved in the child's life. He's a guardian of the minor child and his consent would be required. So that's the first issue we'll have to deal with, the issue concerning is consent required. If consent is not required, the mother can leave the country with the minor child. There are a bit more complicated examples whereby the father and the mother has care joint care rights over the minor child, shared care, where the child lives one half with the father and one half with the mother. So no parent basically has primary care, but the father now may decide he would like to relocate overseas with the minor child. That is also possible. The court will obviously have to determine what is best in the minor child. So let's tick that off. We dealt with the issue concerning whose consent is required, and the consent of the guardian is required. If you're married, both parents, you're referring to the father. If the parties are not married, of course, a mother's consent is required. But if the father was involved in the child's life, he's not married to the mother, his consent is required. Okay, let's move on from that specific topic. With relocation comes the issue of a passport. Now, the same principles which applied early on regarding the consent of the guardian applies to the passport as well. I had many clients who came to my office with relocation issues, and the child might be 15 years old, and the child had a passport which expired, where the father, under these scenarios, never gave consent, but the Department of Home Affairs nonetheless, I do not know how they got it right. They maybe said they cannot get hold of the father, but the Department of Home Affairs nonetheless issued the passport for the minor child without the father's consent. Now maybe they advise the Department of Home Affairs that the father is not involved in the child's life, he cannot be found, and they provide it in event. But however, what's happening now more in recent times, to my desk, issues whereby the mother may not be able to get hold of the father is not involved in the child's life, however the Department of Home Affairs would not issue a passport without the father's consent unless a court authorizes it. So that's where this topic goes. If you still require a passport for the potential relocation, if the father is a guardian, his consent is required. Usually it will be when the parties were married or they got divorced. Alternatively, the father was involved in the minor child's life. But it seems to me the Department of Home Affairs does not worry about whether or not the father is involved or not. They require his consent in any event. And that's where you will see later on in the discussion, he would have to go to the court. The mother would have to go to the court to obtain an order that the father's consent is dispensed because she cannot get hold of him. Or later on, as you'd see, he is refusing consent unreasonably. There we have it. Consent for the relocation, consent for a passport. For both those circumstances, both guardians have to consent therefore. Okay, let's deal with the topic, but on a different scale. Why would someone want to relocate to a different country? There are many reasons therefore. One could be family related. For example, let's say someone remarried, someone that lives overseas, and let's say in this example, the mother wants to live with her husband in Japan. That's a good reason for her to relocate. And she's a primary caregiver of a minor child, so it makes sense that the child goes with. Or for work purposes, happens often. People, they start businesses in South Africa, or they work in South Africa, and the company moves over to a different country, and they want you to go with, Or you apply for work for a certain company overseas, better benefits, better opportunities, growth, whatever the case may be. You cannot be limited to South Africa, Johannesburg, Cape Town, wherever you are, KwaZulu-Natal. So you like to move to a different country, wherever it is, for your benefit, and so that you can empower yourself. Same for education. You want to study overseas, but there's a child involved. You need to take the child with you. Now, obviously, the argument could be brought up that why must a child go with? Yeah, of course. Alternatively, the party living in South Africa might argue, no, if the child goes overseas, I will not have any contact with a minor child. That is a factual thing. And ultimately, you'll have to determine, what is best for the minor child. To stay in South Africa with his primary caregiver, and the primary caregiver cannot empower herself, cannot live with a spouse overseas, with a spouse must come down here, whatever the facts are, so that the other parent living in South Africa can have contact every second weekend. Does that make sense? Does it make logical sense? Can it be argued, the child is now 17 years old in matric. It does not make sense for the child to go to a different country. The child needs to finish school first. Consent should obviously be denied. And the child can remain with the other parent living in South Africa. Let us say for the father in this example, finish school because the father can adequately care for the minor child. So those are factors which we'll have to unpack and look at. Okay, we have cogent reasons for the relocation, sound reasons. The other topic, the other issue which we'll have to deal with, if the relocation takes place, and this is now a different league, there are a few leagues, but this is a different league. If the relocation takes place, we've determined there's a need for the relocation for the caregiver's purposes, but should the relocation take place, the minor child, would the minor child be adequately cared for in the other country? Number one, firstly, are there schools there? Would the minor child be enrolled into a proper school? Are there medical services available in that country where they're relocating to? That's very, very, very important. Are there other amenities? Is there accommodation, proper, adequate accommodation? I do not want to mention names, but there are many countries whereby the standard of living compared to South Africa is not as good. And it would not make sense for the child to go there because there's no, I'm being very maybe a bit more extravagant here in my example, there's no clean running water, there's wars taking place, whatever the case may be. And would it make sense for the child to go there? You know, child life might be in danger, child might not get education, the child might be neglected, whatever the case may be. Or alternatively, the primary caregiver is not certain whether or not she or he, but in this example, she will have a proper income, adequate accommodation, and so on. So those are factors which we'll obviously have to look for. But now we look at the child. Mom wants to go overseas. She has her reasons. Should the child go with? Yes, makes sense because the primary caregiver always cared for the minor child. However, are there facilities available for the child compared to South Africa? In South Africa, the child has a school, you know, medical services. It might be public medical service, it might be public schools, but it's adequate to look after the child's needs. The child's family is here, his friends, and so on. Should the child go overseas, will that be looked at? Remember, the court as upper guardian of all minor children must inquire into this. Determine, would the child be better cared for overseas, yes or no? So that's the leg where the minor child is concerned. Now, I'm putting a different hat on. I'm putting my advocate's hat on for the parent living in South Africa, or the parent who would remain in South Africa, the secondary caregiver. What arguments may he or she bring to the table in opposing an application for the relocation of a minor child? Of course, the first argument would be he or she would not see the minor child so often. Contact would have to be done via Skype, video calling, etc. You might see the child once a year, once every 2 years, maybe never physically for the next few years, unless he flies down to that specific country with COVID-19 and so on. But nonetheless, that's something else. Moving forward with that specific topic, he or she might argue that on a more substantive level, that the educational facilities, the child's needs overseas will not be adequately cared for. So those are problems which he is bringing to the table, okay? But on the flip side, he's saying, having said all of that, I feel that if the mother still needs to go for her specific reasons, the minor child can stay in South Africa, be cared for by me. That's where the parent remaining in South Africa must be able to demonstrate that he or she has the capability, the capacity to care for the minor child. Therefore, it will be hard for a parent to see the minor child once a month, or once, let's say, usually normal example, every second weekend, but the minor child is not necessarily equipped to be cared for by that parent. And that parent might have a bit of a challenge in convincing the court that he or she would do a better job caring for the emotional, psychological well-being of the minor child living in South Africa. Nonetheless, that will have to be unpacked. The court will have to look at all circumstances, the mother's arguments, the father's arguments, and so on. Okay, I'm mentioning about the court. Okay, when do we go to court? Obviously, the mother would now want to relocate. She will ask the father, "Father, please give consent so that the child may leave the country. His consent is required in terms of the Children's Act. Section 18(5). His consent is required." He says no. Okay? Passport? He says no. The mother would have to approach the court. And those factors I mentioned earlier on, she would have to, convince the court. In this specific case, the High Court. And the High Court would obviously listen to what the father has to say or what the mother has to say and make an ultimate decision on this specific matter. I think that is it on the issue concerning relocation. It is supposed to be a very short video. We're on now for about 15 minutes. And I hope that it would assist each one of you to be able to understand the concept of relocation. It is a bit of a complicated issue because you're basically taking away a parent's right to see the minor child as often as he used to. And with a relocation application, there might be other subsidiary type of issues that must be dealt with, the issue concerning contact, how it will take place, guardianship issues, should the mother overseas always contact the father in South Africa asking for consent. Let's say, for example, the school overseas, let us say in Japan, says, Mom, I see the child's birth certificate, it has a father's name and your name on. I cannot enroll the child into the school without the father's consent. So there might be subsidiary issues to deal with regarding guardianship issues should the minor child be overseas. Let's say the minor child is overseas and the passport expires and the mother would like to apply for another passport. Must she not deal with his father, again in South Africa, who already initially opposed the application for a passport, etc. So it's a good idea when drafting these applications to deal with all the potential scenarios that might come to the fore in the future. Consent issues, generally guardianship issues. That's where I will focus my attention more on. So you get the relocation, but you also try to get sole guardianship rights. When should you be overseas regarding specific aspects like education, medical consent, educational consent, and also passport applications and moving through countries where necessary. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you have a lovely day, and if you are relocating, be safe and have a safe travel.